Greetings! I'm going to tell you about the evaluation of the state of the Yauza River Valley Landscape Reserve. Hope you'll enjoy this presentation. The Yauza River Valley Landscape Reserve is a natural complex of territories surrounding the Yauza River, which are part of an ecological corridor that runs from the regional part of the Losiny Ostrov Natural Park to the Ostankino Natural Historical Park. Such lands are intended to help migrate animal and plant species and maintain the ecological balance of the territory. Also, due to its location inside the city, the reserve is intended to provide recreational services to the population of the city. For the successful implementation of both nature protection and recreational services, it is necessary to maintain the reserve's territory in good condition and continuously assess its condition to identify any changes in this ecosystem. In this work, the state of the Yauza River Valley Landscape Reserve was analyzed using various environmental control methods. There are four main types of anthropogenic impacts that are mostly associated with high visitor attendance of protected areas, such as trampling, littering, contamination of water bodies, and animal disturbance. In order to minimize such impacts and maintain sustainable existence of specially protected natural areas, it is necessary to perform a regular monitoring that can help analyze the state of these ecosystems and predict future changes in them. Usually, the natural environment has a response to the negative impacts on it. Methods of environmental control are based on this principle and can help to identify such impacts accurately and efficient. Those methods are related to bioindication of natural ecosystems and based on the study of recreational pressures in the area. The road path network, or RPN, is an essential element in landscape planning of parks because those networks make it easier for visitors of the park to move around the territory of the park. This method of RPN analysis is based on the work of Yuan Asimovich, and it's a compilation of the road RPN territory and calculation of its area from the total area of the uh, territory of the park. In this slide, you can see a ranking map of RPN of the Yauza River Valley Landscape Reserve, and those roads and passes are measured in white. The density of the road and path network reflects the attendance of the park area by visitors and is used as an indicator of recreational disturbance of the area. This method consists in counting the number of intersections of secondary roads with the main RPN. A map of intersection of temporary passes with the main roads in the study was drawn up. All roads and passes are taken into account except for the barely visible passes. Such passes differ from the rest by a good preservation of vegetation cover. The methodology of bioindication of the quality of the natural environment by fluctuation asymmetry, or FA, consists of the collection of assessment materials, in our case the leaf saw Betula pendula, the analysis of the dataset, and the subsequent conclusion of the results of the environmental quality study. After that, the obtained indicator is estimated on a 5-point scale of deviation from norm developed by V.M. Krisanov, in which 1 point is a conventional norm and 5 points is a critical state. Two tables were compiled differing from each other by the place of data selection for this analysis. In the first table, there were data materials that were taken near the roads, especially near the Moscow Ring Road, and in the second table there were materials that were taken near the Yauza River. This was done in order to further compare the values obtained and to find out where the situation with the FA is best. The results of our evaluation cannot be called satisfactory. The share of the area occupied by the RPN from the whole investigated area for the Yauza River Valley Landscape Reserve was 10.15%. These figures exceed the norm. Also, it was found that the northern part of the park is most exposed to anthropogenic impact, which can be explained by its proximity to the Moscow Ring Road. This territory of the park is not fenced off the Moscow Ring Road in any way, so that's why various negative impacts can affect the state of this ecosystem. The average relative difference per sign for Betula pendula near the Yauza River was 0.054, which can be estimated at 1 point as a conditional norm. But the average relative difference per sign for Betula pendula near the Moscow Ring Road was 0.066, which can be estimated at 5 or at 4 points. It's almost a critical condition. From these values, it can be concluded that trees near roads are indeed subject to strong anthropogenic impact. It is necessary to make measures to minimize the negative impact of the roads on these territories. Also, it is recommended to continuously monitor the state of the park to control the processes occurring in this park. This can be helped by various environmental monitoring devices and methods, some of which have already been presented in this work. Thanks for your attention.